Good morning, good afternoon, good evening, my fellow YouTubers, Facebookians. Aries here with another edition of Living Simply Fun. Our other host here is Aaron. Today we'll be
reviewing some cigars, and mind not the dog. We have a neighbor slamming doors, and of course he's barking at it. Probably having a fight within her family. Anyways, cigar reviews. We ended up getting ourselves a nice little bundle of Gurkha Presidente 2 sampler off of Cigar International. It was like 35 bucks or whatever for 18 cigars. Heck, couldn't pass it up. Always wanted to give some Gurkhas a run.
$42.40 to be exact.
$42.40 to be exact. That's with tax and shipping, right?
No, shipping was $9.
So, all right, so $51.40 for the entire thing, but she got some other stuff too. So
yes, I bought these little tins, which me and Aaron's been milking.
Yes, and we'll review these too. The little vintage Sinclair Primeros. But let's start with our Gurkhas here. We have not made it through all 6 type varieties. Whoa!
I got them. Just
no,
talk.
you don't. We have not yet made it through all 6 varieties of the Gurkhas yet. Pardon Butterfingers here for their actions.
Butterfingers. Funny.
So, we really most wanted to try the Ancient Warrior, which surprisingly we have not tried yet, and we have not tried the Elegance yet. But we started with the Warlord. Now, the Warlord, I loved it. Mine cracked like crazy, though. The outer leaf just, like, obliterated itself. But during the entire time, it never canoed. It never
canoed, meaning tunneled or run.
No, tunneled is different. Tunnel goes down the center of the filler, leaving the wrapper and binder unburnt, where canoeing ends up going down the side of the cigar, for those who don't know. I also had no other problems with it, like draw issues or anything. The flavor was incredible, and I would say that it was mostly the flavor of, what do you call it? Clove. It tasted very strong of clove, and it was a very earthy, woodsy smoke. Gurkha not too long ago had a giveaway in which they were asking you what your opinion was of an earthy tone cigar. There's no cigar I've had like the Warlord for the earthy tones. And because of that, I ended up giving the Warlord a 9.0, and it has a $9 to $10 average price, which actually is not terribly bad given that. So, what was your thought on the Warlord?
I found the Warlord to be very good and very enjoyable. I mean, out of them all, the Warlord is a very good smoke. I was not happy with the rest, but we'll get into that. I mean, I give it,
well, we'll get to the others.
9.0.
Okay, so she agrees with me on the 9.0, and of course it would be better if we were able to humidify these. We're hoping that the plastic keeps them somewhat fresh, because mine haven't arrived yet, and, well, luckily we can smoke these while we wait for mine to come.
Or these little mini ones.
Yep. So we'll move on to the Beauty, which was the next one we smoked, and that's on average $10 to $25 a stick, depending. The Beauty, I didn't find anything very distinguishable about it. There were no flavors I picked up, nothing unique or anything that just stuck out at me. It was a standard, basic cigar. It burnt even throughout. The wrapper didn't crack or anything. I don't think you had any problems with your wrapper.
No, I found the
binder
Beauty
didn't have a problem. No
the
canoeing,
Beauty
no
was
tunneling.
the Beauty was very tasty and very good. The only thing is I didn't pick up anything in the Beauty. It was just like a coffee flavored cigar.
It was just a kind of bland cigar. If you've smoked a White Owl, you know the cigar flavor. You smoked a Dutch Master. I can't see paying $20 for it, and because of the price tag on this, I only gave it a 7.5. The flavor was probably up there around 8-ish, but the price, I would not pay that for that cigar. So, I don't know why it's so expensive. It's just...
I will tell you why, for you viewers out there.
You know why the Beauty is?
The Beauty is priced so high, it's because of the name Gurkha.
No, that's not why.
Name.
I mean, the Warlord is priced much cheaper, and it has much more to offer you. It's not like the one that they have with the St. Louis the 13th cognac in it.
Oh, you mean the $15,000 box?
Exactly. I mean, that I can understand, but why the Beauty was so expensive here, I don't know. One of the reasons I looked forward to it was because it's one of the few uh, paler wrappers, the Connecticut style wrappers. It was not as Maduro like as the other ones. I've always wanted to say Maduro is dark, but I've seen a light leafed Maduro. And I've seen a dark leafed Connecticut. So it doesn't necessarily mean based on that. Next, well, actually, I should give my rating. I gave mine 7.5. What was your rating on the Beauty?
I said it'd probably be a 7.0 because, like I said, price was not good.
So she wasn't as generous to it as me.
But I will say, because it's a Gurkha and the price is so high, there was no problems in my opinions with Gurkha or that particular stick. But I will say Gurkha is hit and miss.
Now we're on to the Shaggy. The Shaggy foot. One of the interesting things about the Shaggy is the very end of the foot has no wrapper around it. You get naked binder and naked filler, and that kind of gives it its shaggy appearance. In fact, I saw once a website that said it's not named after Shaggy from Scooby-Doo, which I kind of got a chuckle out of. But to begin with, the flavor was like vomit in a wrapper. It was absolutely horrid tasting. I could barely make it through the cigar. I was hoping like heck during the last third of it that it would just hurry up and end. I didn't want to waste any money, so I kept smoking it, even though I literally was feeling sick from it. The flavors, I couldn't even tell you what it really was. It just was horrible. Absolutely horrible, icky, disgusting. In fact, I gave the Arganese at one point like a 5.8 or something. I was generous to the Shaggy and gave it a 6.5, only because mine actually did burn evenly all the way through, and it cracked a little. But now let's get to Rita's problem with it. She almost had to destroy this, toss the cigar right at the beginning. It started tunneling the second she lit it. From the point that it just got past the shagginess of the foot to the actual wrapper, it started tunneling. And she was losing inch by inch by inch of her cigar all the way through. By the time she'd gotten this far into the cigar, the whole thing was squishy down to almost the lower label. And it's like, no, this is not right. And it was just gross and disgusting. What was your thoughts on that horrible experience?
I think that one they shouldn't even be selling on the market. I mean, the FDA should pull it because it's so bad.
Well,
but that's my
don't
opinion.
get into the FDA regulating.
No, I'm just saying, in my opinion. But anyways,
Gurkha should pull it.
Yes, exactly. I find
places like Cigar International should refuse to sell it on the grounds that it's horrible. But I guess somebody might like it.
I give it a 6 generously because it was vomit in a stick.
Yes, and I generously gave it a 6.5 only because I didn't have the issues. But this was the one that really told us that Gurkha is hit or miss. Sometimes you get a good one, sometimes you get a bad one. With the Shaggies, it wasn't terrible to me other than the flavor, which that's just the Shaggy in general, but
he said he
for
doesn't
her
envy,
it was the construction.
He said he does not envy me trying it again.
Yes, because she's going to have to smoke the puke. Even if it smokes proper, it's still going to end up being puke. Because the flavor won't change. That's the flavor of that cigar. So I guess we should move on to the last of the four.
However, I do want to say,
tried.
do you have any more of these little pieces of paper?
No, I need to get some more.
We're out.
Yes.
You just screwed me over because that was the last piece of paper I was going to use for Angela.
Did you have to get into this during the...
Yes, I just wanted to let you know right there, just for all you people out there.
Well, I've been using this for my notes constantly.
And
stop that. You just hit the cigars. Anyways, the final of the four that we tried was the Vintage 2001 as our wonderful Father's Day cigar. Now, again, this comes with a very hefty price tag of $20 to $25, but they're also rare to find on the market. You can find there's some various versions of it out there. but mostly they're part of bundles, samples, etc. You really will have a hard time finding a box of these.
We were blessed on that.
I think one of the types they have is a 5-pack double Perfecto, which I don't like the shape of those.
Those are like torpedoes, aren't they?
Yeah, they look like a torpedo. In fact, they're double torqued. The top and bottom both come to points. Anyways, it was a $20 to $25 cigar, and at first I really thought it was more like the Beauty. I didn't notice any flavor at all through the first half of the cigar. The second half of the cigar, it started to pick up some flavor to me, and I couldn't quite figure out what it was, but I kept wanting to say it kind of was citrusy.
Tasted like an orange in a cigar.
Not like the Shaggy that was almost acidic in nature. It just... I don't know. I wanted to say it was more like lemons, and it could be that we were drinking strawberry lemonade at the time, too.
Oh, yeah.
Which actually accompanied the cigar very, very well. It burnt evenly throughout on both of us, and we did have a humidification problem due to our own lack of humidification. When Rita went to kind of adjust hers for a little more draw, her wrapper cracked. And my wrapper was cracking as it was going too. But the rest of the cigar was fine, which means our humidification just meant that the outer wrapper was getting a little dry. And that's, at least it's not to the point yet that they're destroyed, but or needing rehumidification, but they are on the dry side. So I'm kind of worried about how the last two will go, especially since I'm really looking forward to the Ancient Warrior, and we tried to put our one we most wanted to try last. So I don't know. Anyways, going back to the vintage 2001, I give it a 7.9 only because of the price range and the rarity. It's just a very hard cigar to get a hold of. The flavors were better than the Beauty, so I have to rate it above the Beauty. But I can't rate it like the Warlord, which is affordable and easy to find.
Well, I'm sorry about Barkamoo.
Yes. Still, the neighbors are going crazy out there.
They're probably kicking my door.
Well, they're having a fight of some sort. Anyway, so what did you think, giving it a rating and all that? Of vintage
I found it to be a very flavorful cigar. I didn't want to put it down. I burned it more and more down to almost my lips.
I was actually smoking it to the point that I'm sitting there nearly burning my fingers and like I can get one or two more hits off this, and it literally was like that much left on the end of the cigar.
Yeah, and I enjoyed it. I couldn't choose what the flavors were, but I enjoyed it in general. And
I couldn't distinguish anything. Maybe in the future I'll have a better taste sense to these things. I am still a fairly new cigar smoker. I can't just sit there and say it smells like hay because I've never really smelt hay. Well, I have, but I've never tasted it, so I can't tell you if I taste it. And I can't stand the taste of coffee, so I'm not going to distinguish those very well.
I'll tell you something. Thinking about hay, I know with some of those cigars that we could not pick up the flavors, the ones that he said we couldn't pick up. They had a flavor to it. It tasted like freshly cut lawn, mowed lawn. Because I've eaten grass before, and it tastes just like that. That's what it is.
Well,
it's like they put grass in the
We've
cigar.
learned that she's a cow now. You go grazing. Do you chew your cud or do you spit?
Haha, very funny.
So we're gonna get on to the Victor Sinclair Primeros here. Now these aren't technically full cigars. I mean, they are like a cigarette. Obviously, they're like maybe a 10, 12-minute smoke. They're kind of nice if you're just walking around town and you want to smoke something that's, you know, going to the grocery store. We have to walk about a mile to the grocery store. Like tonight, we smoked one walking, we were going to smoke one walking to the park, but I sometimes have some problems smoking and walking where I have some chest pain from it, so couldn't very well do that. So we stopped and smoked at the park while I was cooking dinner, and that was perfect while I was cooking the brats for dinner. And, of course, if I'm having chest pain, I probably shouldn't be eating brats, but I don't think it's heart-related. I think that probably what I have, because the pain's up here, that probably what I have is something like a hernia underneath the rib cage, and it's pressing against something in there, and it hurts. And the more I move, the more it agitates, and then it gets more painful. And that's what I think is really going on.
What was your rating in the last cigar?
The Primeros?
No, the previous one.
I already said 7.9.
I never gave you mine. You never asked me.
I forgot.
Mine would be just one little point higher, 8.0.
You're going to give it an 8 even. All right. Well, back to the Victor Sinclair Primeros. Besides the fact that it's a really cool little metal tin.
I do want to tell a story about this.
You can crack it over your head. Oh, great story about it, too, before we get to your story. The first one Rita gets, she's trying to open it from the hinge side, and she's prying it and prying it, and she's like, I can't get it to open. And I'm like, you're opening it the wrong side. She's like, fix the case for me. So I had to bend it back into place for her. But that was just really fun that she'd never opened one of those metal tins before and didn't know which way to do it. So, your story on them?
Oh, yes. Besides the stickers off a kilter bit. Anyways, my story goes like this. I've always wanted to try these little tins out. I kept looking them at Cigar International, and I said I wanted to collect other tins. Well, one day, me and Aaron went into a smoke shop we've gone into for years, and I said, Aaron, did you check out the little tins? No. Cohiba, $35.
Oh, no, I checked out the tins. They were insane in price. I was thinking about getting a tin, but not at those prices. I would have paid maybe $10 for a tin.
Anyway,
I wasn't going to pay $35 for 10 little cigars. That's $3.50 for one of those little ones. I'd rather get a full size, like the St. Louis Ray I got for $2 a cigar. You can check out my website, my YouTube on the St. Louis Ray. But I'd rather have gotten 10 of those for, instead. Because, well, they're $2 a piece. That's $20 and still cheaper than one of those tins. So,
anyways,
these were very, very affordable.
$29.99.
And then I got another 5-pack for it, $34.95 from Thompson. That's 5 different types of Victor Sinclair Cigarillos. And
I just want to say,
nice.
10 little cigars, 5 tins in the yellow. I tried getting the red ones at Cigar International.
Yours are orange.
These are orange. But anyways, let me finish. 5 tins. $29.99 or $29.95, and we didn't have to pay $30 plus the local smoke shop because of the state sales tax just for.
And I don't even think ours carries the Victor Sinclair.
They don't.
Yeah, it is a state sales tax that is so high on these because these really shouldn't be more than $12 or $15 a tin, and to have to end up paying like $35-40 a tin is just outrageous because of the tax codes. Because you don't get $40 worth of cigars in this. I mean, it's not even a half pack of cigarettes. If a half pack of cigarettes is $7, for crying out loud, children are not smoking these. But I guess they're afraid that children will. So, anyways, that's... Oh, and our rating of these? I would say it varies because I've had some that I can't even get a hit off of. No draw whatsoever, but other ones are just fantastic. So I'd say on the long run that they pull in about a rating of 7.9 to 8.5. I think I'd go a little higher, like somewhere in between 8.3 for them because they are quick, they are fast, these were affordable at least, and they come in handy when you don't have time for a full cigar.
Yes,
and they've got a good flavor.
I agree 100%. I also wanted to say, because Aaron is bringing in 5 Victor Sinclair tins, 1 tin of each of different flavors.
Yeah, so Victor Sinclair 55 series, all were released in cigarillo form.
They're like half-inch smaller than these.
And we've already tried 2 of the Victor Sinclair full-size 55s, the Corojo, I think it was Corojo, it might have been triple Corojo. And the blue one, I can't remember what it was called.
The blue 55.
Yeah, the blue and red 55s we've tried. I can remember that offhand. Anyways, I suppose thank you for tuning in. We will continue to try to do cigar reviews over here. I do individual ones on my own channel, which is just Aaron Whitehouse. You can find me there.
I will send him home with a little tin so he can actually do his own review on it, so it can show the tin at least.
Yeah, I haven't done that in any of my vids, so.
Anyways, with that said, everyone, please add and subscribe if you like. Please post comments in the box if you like. Please add us as a friend. Please subscribe, leave feedback and suggestions. Thank you, and may God bless
And recommendations.
the world. Yeah, and recommendations. Thank you, and may God bless the world.